Hello, my students of third prep. Today we are going to start our final revision, and I wish all of you the best of luck in your exams. First of all, we are going to have the final revision about algebra. Let us start by the first example. Our final revision will start by the first question. Choose the correct answer from between brackets. The first example is the point of intersection of the two straight lines y equals 2 and x plus y equals 6 is what? Is it 2 and 6, 2 and 4, 4 and 2, or 6 and 2? At the very beginning, you notice that y equals 2. So by substituting, you are going to find that x plus 2 equals 6. And in this case, we can find the value of x as, yes, that's correct, it is 4. So our solution set, or the point of intersection of the two straight lines, will be 4 and 2. Another example, the two straight lines 3x plus 4y equals 1 and 6x plus 8y equals 2 are what? Are they parallel or coinciding or perpendicular or intersected? Yes, you are going to notice that the coefficient of x3 becomes 6, so it is multiplied by 2. And the coefficient of y, which is 4, becomes 8. It is also multiplied by 2. And the answer 1 becomes 2, so it is also multiplied by 2. This means that the two straight lines are coinciding. Another example, the solution set of the equation x squared plus 5 equals 0 is what? Is it positive or negative root 5, or negative root 5, or root 5, or phi? You are going to notice that x power 2 will be negative 5, so we cannot find the solution set, so it is phi. And in this case, we can say that the solution set is phi. Another example, if n of x equals x minus 1 over x minus 2, then the domain of n negative 1x is what? Is it r, or r minus 1, or r minus 2, or r minus 1 and 2? We are going to notice that this algebraic fractional function has multiplicative inverse. So in case that it has multiplicative inverse, then its domain will be r minus both the set of zeros of the numerator and denominator. How? By this way, x minus 1 equals 0, so we can find that x equals 1. And x minus 2 equals 0, so x will be 2. And in this case, we can say that the domain of n negative 1x is r minus 1 and 2. Another example, if A is a subset of the sample space of the random experiment and probability of A equals probability of A dash, then probability of A equals what? Is it 1, or half, or third, or 0? All of you know that the probability of the whole sample space will be 1. Its value will be 1. So in this case, we can say that probability of A plus probability of A dash equals 1. And as they are both equal, so we can say that double the probability of A equals 1. In this case, we can find the value of probability of A as half. That's correct. And in this case, we are going to choose the second choice, which is half. Another example, if the solution set of the equation x squared plus mx plus 9 equals 0 is negative 3, then m equals what? Is it 3, negative 6, negative 3, or 6? What's meant by the solution set of the equation? It means that when we substitute by the value of x as negative 3, it will give an answer which is equal to 0 as shown in front of you. So we are going to substitute by the value of x equals negative 3. So it is negative 3 to the power of 2 plus m times negative 3 plus 9 equals 0. In this case, we are going to find that negative 3m plus 18 equals 0. Then 3m equals 18. Can you now find the value of m? By dividing both sides by 3. So you are going to find that the value of m equals 6. So we are going to choose the last choice. Another example, if the sum of two numbers is 8 and their product is 15, then the two numbers are 2 and 6, or 3 and 5, or 4 and 4, or 1 and 15. If you think about the first choice, which is 2 and 6, what are you going to notice? That the sum of 2 and 6 is 8, but their product is not 15. So we cannot choose the first one. What about 3 and 5? Yes, their sum is 8, and their product is 15. Product, of course, means the multiplication. So in this case, we are going to choose the two numbers, 3 and 5. Let us have another example. If the probability that Mona succeeded is 95%, then the probability that she failed is what? Is it 20%, 10%, 5%, or 0? Of course, you know that the total percentage of the probability is 100%, as it is equal to 1. So in this case, we can say that 100% minus 95% give an answer as 5%, which is the third choice. Another example, if A and B are mutually exclusive events in the random experiment, so what about the probability of A intersection B? Is it 0, 1, half, or quarter? As the two sets are mutually exclusive, so there is no intersection between them. It means that A intersection B equals phi. So what about the probability of the phi? It will be 0, which is the first choice. Another example, the set of zeros of f where f of x equals x minus 2 over 7 is what? Is it 7 or 2 over 7 or 5 or 2? Of course, to find the set of zeros of any algebraic fractional function, you are going to notice that the set of zeros is from the numerator of the function. So we are going to take x minus 2 equals 0. And in this case, the value of x will be 2. And this means that the set of zeros will be 2. Let us have another example. Solve the two equations, x plus y equals 7 and x power 2 plus y power 2 equals 25. In this case, you are going to notice that you have two equations. One of them is of the first degree and the other is of the second degree. In this case, you are going to find either the value of x or y from the first degree equation and substitute by it in the second degree equation. How? We'll start by x plus y equals 7. So we can find the value of x as, that's correct, 7 minus y. And by substituting by x for 7 minus y, we are going to find that 7 minus y all to the power of 2 plus y power 2 equals 25. And then by expanding the bracket all to the power of 2, we are going to find that 49 minus 14y plus y power 2 plus the original y power 2, then minus 25 equals 0. By collecting like terms, you are going to find that 2y to the power of 2 minus 14y plus 24 equals 0. And you are going to notice that all the equation can be divided by 2 to obtain an equation as y to the power of 2 minus 7y plus 12 equals 0. Then by factorizing this equation, you are going to find that the two brackets will be y minus 3, y minus 4, which is equal to 0. In this case, we can find that y equals 3 or y equals 4. What about the values of x then? Yes, x will be 7 minus 3, which is equal to 4, or, that's correct, x equal 7 minus 4 to obtain a result as 3. In this case, we can say that the solution set of this equation is when x is 4, its y is 3, and when x is 3, its y is 4. Let us have another example. If nx equals x to the power of 3 minus 8 over x squared minus 6x plus 5 divided by x to the power of 3 plus 2x power 2 plus 4x over 2x power 2 plus x minus 3. Find its domain. We want to find this function in its simplest form and also find its domain. Then, what about x power 3 minus 8? You are going to factorize the whole algebraic fractional functions. How? By this way. N of x equals x minus 2, which is the factorization of x power 3 minus 8, and the big bracket is x squared plus 2x plus 4. What about the denominator? It's x minus 5, x minus 1. Then it is divided by. You are going to take a common factor x from the numerator, so it is x brackets x power 2 plus 2x plus 4 over, by factorization of the denominator, you are going to find that it is 2 brackets 2x plus 3 x minus 1. Then you are going to notice that the division will be converted into multiplication and then get the multiplicative inverse of the fractional function after it. So it will be x minus 2 brackets x to the power of 2 plus 2x plus 4 over x minus 5 x minus 1 multiplied by, that's correct, the multiplicative inverse, which is 2x plus 3 x minus 1 over x squared plus 2x plus 4. Then first you are going to find the domain of the fractional function. So the domain will be r minus 5, 1, 0, and negative 3 over 2. To find a result as, that's correct, x minus 2, 2x plus 3 over x minus 5. Let us have another example. Solve the equation 2x brackets x minus 5 equals 1. Approximating to the nearest 1 decimal place. First of all, to find the solution set of such an equation, you must expand the bracket. How? Let us try to solve it. 2x minus 5 equals 1. So we can expand the bracket. How? It will be 2x to the power of 2 minus 10x minus 1 equals 0. And then by making factorization, you cannot find the solution set. So how can you solve such a problem? By using the formula which you have studied. What about the formula? You are going to notice that the value of A will be 2, B will be negative 10, and C will be negative 1. So by substituting in the rule which says that x1 and 2 equals negative b, positive or negative, square root b square minus 4ac over 2a. By substituting, the value of b is negative 10, so negative 10 gives positive 10. So it is 10 positive negative root 100 minus 4 times 2 times negative 1 over 2a, which is 2 times 2. To obtain a result as, that's correct, 10 positive or negative root 108 over 4. To obtain a final result as 5 positive negative 3 root 3 over 2. And by substituting for the value of root 3 by using your calculators and then making the approximation, you are going to find that the solution set will be 5.1 and negative 0.1. Graph the function f, where f of x equals x to the power of 2 plus 2x plus 3 on the interval negative 3 closed, 1 closed. And from the graph, try to find the maximum or minimum value of the function, and find also the vertex of the curve, and at last find the solution set of the equation x squared plus 2x plus 3 equals 0. At the very beginning, you know from the previous term that you have to find a table using your calculators so as to draw the function. How? You are going to make a table, the values of x and the values of f of x, which is y. How? Values of x are, if x equal negative 3, f of x is 6. X negative 2, f of x equals 3. X is negative 1, so f of x equals 2. X equals 0, f of x is 3. And if x equals 1, f of x equals 6. Then you are going to try to draw this graph. How? By drawing the two axes, the x-axis and the y-axis, and then plotting the points. The first point is negative 3 and 6. The second point is negative 2 and 3. The third point is negative 1 and 2. The fourth is 0 and 3. And the last one is 1 and 6. And then drawing the graph, you are going to find the graph to be as shown in front of you. Then try to find, is it minimum value or maximum value? Of course, it is minimum value. So the minimum value is going to be 2. What about the vertex of this curve? Yes, the vertex will be negative 1 and 2. And what about the solution set of this equation? Yes, there is no intersection between the curve and the x-axis, so the solution set will be phi. Let us have another example. A classroom of 40 students. 30 of them play football, 20 of them play basketball, and 15 of them play football and basketball at the same time. Then find the probability that the student will play only football And the second one is the probability that the student play none of them. None of them. Now, how can we solve such an example? First of all, we are going to draw this sketch. How? We are going to know that pupils who learn or who try to play football only are 15. Basketball only 5. And the common are 15, which is the intersected part. How many students are left? 5 students. So we can say that these 5 students like none of these activities. So the probability that the student play only football is going to be, yes, that's correct, only 15 out of 40, which is going to be reduced as 3/8. What about the probability that the student play none of them? None of them. Yes, they are 5 students. From how many students? 40. So in this case, we can say that the probability is 5/40 and is reduced to be 1/8. Another example, find the solution set of the two equations, x minus y equals 4, 3x plus 2y equals 7, graphically, and then verify your answer algebraically. How can you find the solution set algebraically first? Yes, that's correct. You are going to notice that the two equations are x minus y equals 4, 3x plus 2y equals 7. We are going to multiply the first equation by 2 so as to make the coefficients of y, one of them additive inverse of the other. So by multiplying the first equation by 2, you are going to find that it will be 2x minus 2y equals 8. And the other equation is 3x plus 2y equals 7. By adding these two equations, you are going to notice that negative 2y, positive 2y will be cancelled together. Then after adding, you are going to find that 5x equals 15. In this case, we can find that the value of x equals 3. And by substituting, you are going to find that 3 minus y equals 4. In this case, y will be 3 minus 4 equals negative 1. And here we can say that the solution set of the equation is 3 and negative 1. This is algebraically. What about it graphically? Yes, to make a graph or to plot a graph, you must make two tables so as to draw the two straight lines. Then the first table will be when x equals 0, that's correct. The y will be negative 4. When x equals 1, y will be negative 3. When x equals 2, y will be negative 2. What about the other table of the other equation? That's correct. If x has the values 0, 1, and 2, what about the values equivalent to them in the y? Yes, when x 0, y is 3.5. When x is 1, so y is 2. And when x is 2, y equals 0.5. Now try to plot the two graphs together. So by making the two axes, you are going to find that the first point 0, negative 4. The second point is 1 and negative 3. The third point is 2 and negative 2. Then draw the line by using a pencil and a ruler so as to join the 3 points together. What about the other line? It is 0 and 3.5. The other point is 1 and 2. The last point is 2 and 0.5. So by joining them together, you are going to find that the point of intersection of the two straight lines is, that's correct, the point 3 and negative 1. So here we can say that the solution set of the equation is 3 and negative 1. And now you verified it graphically after making it algebraically. Another example. Find n in its simplest form showing its domain, where nx equals x squared minus 2x over x squared minus 3x plus 2 minus 4 minus x squared over x squared plus x minus 2. At the very beginning, you are going to factorize the two fractional functions. How? Pay attention, please. Nx equals, that's correct. We are going to take a common factor x. So it is x, x minus 2. What about the denominator? Factorizing trinomial. So it is going to be x minus 1, x minus 2, minus. You are going to take from the numerator negative common factor. So it will be negative brackets x squared minus 4 over, by factorizing also the trinomial, it will be x plus 2 x minus 1. Then you are going to write x minus 2 over x minus 1 x minus 2. What about minus negative? So multiplied by each other, you are going to obtain a positive sign. Then by factorizing the numerator, it will be difference between two squares. So it is x minus 2 x plus 2 over the denominator, which is x plus 2 x minus 1. At the beginning, you are going to find the domain. What about the domain? It is r minus 1, 2, and negative 2. Then by reducing, that's correct, x minus 2 together and x plus 2 together, you are going to obtain a result as, that's correct, x plus x minus 2 over x minus 1. By collecting like terms, yes, it will be 2x minus 2 over x minus 1. You are going to notice that you can take 2 as a common factor from the numerator. So you are going to find that by taking 2 common factor, x minus 1 over x minus 1 will be reduced together to obtain a result as 2. Another example. A bag contains 15 identical balls, numbered from 1 to 15. One ball is chosen randomly if the event of A is getting an odd number and the event B is getting a prime number. Then find first probability of A, second probability of B, and third probability of A minus B. At the very beginning, what about A? It is odd numbers from 1 to 15. So we can say that A equals 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, and 15, which are the odd numbers between 1 and 15. Then what about B? That's correct. B is the set of prime numbers from 1 to 15. So B will be 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, and 13. In this case, you are going to notice that there are some common elements between A and B. So we can say that A intersection B equals, that's correct, 3, 5, 7, 11, and 13. Then what about probability of A? Yes, that's correct. There are 8 elements in the set A. So we can say that probability of A equals 8 over 15. What about probability of B? Yes, there are 6 elements out of 15. So it is 6 over 15. And by reducing it, you are going to obtain a result as 2 over 5. What about probability of A minus B? Yes, you notice that A minus B has a rule. To find the probability of A minus B, it has a rule which says that probability of A minus B equals probability of A minus probability of A intersection B. What about probability of A? Yes, that's correct. It is 8 over 15. Minus, what about probability of A intersection B? How many elements do you have in A intersection B? Yes, there are 5 elements. Out of what? 15. So it is minus 5 over 15. to obtain a result as 3 over 15, and after reducing, you are going to find that the value will be 1 over 5. By the end of this example, we reached the end of our program this year. I wish all of you the best of luck, and I wish you a happy holiday. Bye-bye.